the Sci-Fi Channel.
Ah, a cup of Earl Grey tea. Guess who our special guest on Sci-Fi Buzz is?
This week on Sci-Fi Buzz, Captain Jean-Luc Picard beams aboard in the person of Patrick Stewart. Can critics like Harlan Ellison be bought? Harlan says yes. We'll take you to Contact 10, where scientists and writers ask the question, who's out there? And the latest from Japan, science fiction themed cartoons that could never run on American Saturday morning TV.
Hi, I'm Mike Jarek, and welcome to Starship Sci-Fi Buzz. Exits on both sides. In case of an emergency, the oxygen mask will fall. In case of nausea, talk to the producer. And don't get out of your seats until the show comes to a complete stop. In my opinion, it ought to stop right now. Well, actually, my outfit is in honor of our first story about Captain Jean-Luc Picard. I'll take you back to 1987, when a relatively unknown Shakespearean actor first sat in the captain's seat.
We're wasting time, sire.
It's well known that Patrick Stewart perfected his command of the English language at the Royal Shakespeare Company. It's less well known that he perfected his screen presence in sci-fi and fantasy films like Life Force, Excalibur, and Dune.
Gods, what a monster.
When Paramount Pictures decided to gamble on a new version of Star Trek 6 years ago, they wisely decided to cast their new captain against the stereotype square-jaw lady killer that had boldly gone before. The Shakespearean with the sci-fi film credits got one briefing from series creator Gene Roddenberry about the character that would lead Star Trek into the 24th century.
Before we started shooting, he took me to the Bel Air Country Club for dinner. We had hamburgers and French fries. And he asked me if I'd ever read any of the Horatio Hornblower stories. And I said I had years and years ago as a teenager. And he said, I'm going to give you a collection of them. Read them. He didn't say why. And I didn't ask any questions. But it was implicit in that he wanted me to find something there that he felt would reflect back onto the Next Generation scripts and to Captain Picard. And I did. Mostly to do with dedication, obsession. Yeah. Loyalty, personal convictions, and very strong relationships with crew and colleagues.
Y'all must be mistaken.
There, Data, you did it again.
Did what?
With 5 seasons of Star Trek The Next Generation behind them, many cast members are keeping their enthusiasm for the show fresh by taking on the additional chore of directing episodes. Most recently, Patrick moved the show west as the director of A Fistful of Datas.
I could not have undertaken my first day of work as a director on this show if Jonathan Frakes had not gone there before me, and made such a brilliant job, particularly of his first show. I was immensely encouraged by Jonathan's success and his skill, and by his actual support for me doing this. And behind Jonathan, the rest of the cast and the crew and the producers and the writers who took a risk with both of us in that respect. And I cannot think of better circumstances under which to lose one's virginity than in, directorially speaking, that is, than in this place where we are right now.
You will disarm your weapons. If you attempt to intervene, we will destroy you.
In effect, Patrick Stewart's Star Trek experience is moving full circle. He is now the captain in many fans' minds that Avery Brooks as Starfleet Commander Benjamin Sisko will be measured against. There is also some closure to his life as an actor, which began with the plays of William Shakespeare, epic myths of another time.
Some people have said more articulately than me that science fiction represents the 20th century mythology that, as every society over hundreds of years has required to have its own mythology, its own dream world alongside its reality, that science fiction is that for the 20th century, and that The Next Generation fits very precisely into that frame.
Patrick Stewart will be switching from science fiction to fantasy when The Next Generation goes on hiatus. He'll be playing Daddy Warbucks in the sequel to the movie musical Annie. This one's called Annie and the Castle of Terror.
Hello, is anybody out there? A convention even E.T. would phone home about when the buzz reconnects.
So, what brings you to Clausen?
I'm looking to cook pickles. I'm a pickle cook. Pickles are what I cook. Gherkins, crickets, dill, spears, chunks, chips. You name it, I'll cook it.
We don't cook our Clausen pickles.
You're kidding.
I never kid.
What about shelf life?
What about shelf life?
Most pickles sit on a shelf. You sit on a shelf. You've got to be cooked. I'm your guy. I'm a pickle cook.
What about taste?
What about taste?
We're just kind of picky about taste.
Unlike most pickles, Clausen pickles are never cooked. They're always cold, always crisp, always delicious.
Don't cook your pickles. That's funny.
He's got the information they need.
Give us that plate number.
Make me a cop.
What? They've got the job he wants.
I always wanted one of these.
Now,
Get in the car.
I can't see.
Raise your butt up.
he's just got to grow into it.
Let's get a warrant and ransack the place.
Burt Reynolds.
That was just like Miami Vice.
And introducing Norman D. Golden II, cop and a half.
I'm your worst nightmare. An 8-year-old with the badge.
Rated PG. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere. Join our quest for the ultimate in imagination. Watch the Sci-Fi Cartoon Quest and let your imagination take you to the stars. Weekdays at 7. You are watching Sci-Fi Buzz on the Sci-Fi Channel.
I used to be in good shape. Then I began working longer hours.
Had my second baby.
Stopped going to the gym.
You know what happens when your body goes soft. Your energy, your confidence, your drive, they all go soft on you. But now you can change all that in just 12 weeks. You see, inside every soft body is a firmer, trimmer, more streamlined body. We call it a Nordic body. You find your Nordic body with Nordic Flex Gold, the only home fitness machine with isokinetic resistance to give you the workout that's perfect for your body. Nordic Flex Gold can trim your body as much as 70% faster than other machines. It's easy to use. It comes with a manual, a video, a wall chart with photos of every exercise, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Feel good about yourself again. Call now, because inside every body is a Nordic body. Find your Nordic body with Nordic Flex Gold.
The movies have given us several memorable meetings between humans and creatures of other worlds. For instance, in The Day the Earth Stood Still, well, we shot them. In Aliens, they ate us. But how about Close Encounters? We all got together, shook hands, and made friends. Well, over the past 10 years, a group of scientists and writers have gotten together to talk about a possible confrontation between humans and aliens. They call themselves Contact, or Cultures of the Imagination.
They came from around the country, writers, soft scientists, hard scientists, and artists. Their purpose? To try and answer an age-old question that has gnawed at us Earthlings. Is there alien life out there?
It's not like Star Wars or Star Trek where you just paint something green and give it a couple of antennae. It's a real serious attempt to think about how beings that aren't human might think.
Contact was formed a decade ago by anthropologist Jim Fernaro. He believed throwing people from various professions into a room and allowing them to spark off one another was, simply stated, a good idea.
I think interdisciplinary is the key word. In other words, we're bringing together different groups of people. I mean, that's contact. In a very specialized sense, when you put a physicist and an anthropologist and a science fiction writer, an artist, in the same forum together, you got contact.
A true meeting of the minds. This yearly conference began as an imaginative attempt to simulate and prepare for alien confrontations.
What I'm saying is if there are 1 million civilizations in our galaxy, intelligence is in our galaxy, all but a handful of them will be enormously ahead or behind us.
Symposiums allow experts in the arts and sciences to present a range of fact-based views on interplanetary encounters. In contrast, one subsection allows the imagination to run wild. Aptly enough, it's called Cultures of the Imagination, or CODI.
What about the circulatory system on this creature?
Well, it doesn't have a centralized heart like we would think of it. What it has is it has enlarged veins around the edge of the shell
Those participating in the Cody subsection are presented with a formative challenge of creating an alien life form for an imaginary planet.
Like, I knew absolutely nothing about telecommunications or anything, and here I am setting up satellites for a whole planet.
Cody has been enormously popular among attendees over the years, so it's not surprising participant Reed Reiner, an anthropology professor at Northern Arizona University, has incorporated the exercise into his own curriculum.
It's an interdisciplinary course. They're presented with one large single problem. You are the first human population to establish a permanent settlement on Mars. Make it work.
Reiner's project has been so successful, half his class hopped into their cars and drove 14 hours from Flagstaff to be part of the action. Science fiction writer Larry Niven, one of the group's original members, is a big believer in the Cody mock missions.
The ultimate purpose of Cody is to show what human beings are not. This is, for me anyway, the ultimate purpose of generating an alien culture even when I'm writing. The better I concentrate on what an alien is, the better he serves as a distorting mirror for what humanity is.
Cody has relied on imaginary encounters with non-human life forms thus far, but who knows? One day we might make contact, and no one will be better prepared to communicate than these eager Earthlings.
Are invited to attend the 7th annual 24-hour science fiction marathon titled It Came from the Drexel North Theater. The chance to sit in the dark and watch science fiction movies for 24 hours straight. Don't miss It Came from the Drexel North, April 3rd and 4th in Columbus, Ohio at the Drexel North Theater.
Here are this week's Buzz Best Bets. With over 500 video games available for home video systems, we checked in with the game masters at California's high-tech game centers. We figured that if Southern Californians are inside playing while the sun's shining outside, these games have got to be fun.
Probably Echo the Dolphin here and Super Star Wars, probably the two most popular games right now. Echo's got really great sound and graphics. Basically, you're a dolphin trying to find your family.
What Genesis did was they digitized a real dolphin onto the Echo the Dolphin game, giving it more realistic dolphin movements, breathing, diving down deep in the water. The graphics, the underwater graphics were incredible. They just made it an all-around more popular game for kids and adults.
Star Wars is basically just like the movie. You go through all the aspects of the movie, where you start with Luke and then try to find the different characters.
The other two hottest games are Super Nintendo's Street Fighter II with its graphics, 16-bit graphics. The kicks and the punches are excellent, they're real life. And then for Genesis, I have Sonic 2. The processing in this game is just so fast that it's like you're just incredible. It's running fast, it's beating up things, flying.
Besides the action and shooting games, people like the role-playing games also.
One of these games for Super Nintendo is Zelda 3. It's probably the most popular role-playing game out right now for Super Nintendo. Basically because of its battery backup, it can store a lot of information. You can always go back to it and leave it and then play it again as long as you want.
Some other games for the Genesis are Might and Magic, Dungeons & Dragons, Phantasy Star 2. Those are some of the role players on the Genesis that people like to play.
Thanks, guys, and play on. Those are this week's Buzz Best Bets. It's called Japanimation, and it's invading America. Plus, our homegrown Harlan Ellison. Next.
If potato chips are gonna cross your lips, keep them fresh, make them fine all the time. That's Pringles, pop the Pringles. Not like chips in a bag, they don't stay fresh. It's a drag. Candles bagged with buster pieces, get your hands full of greases. We've got whole crunchy chips, clean and crispy to your lips. Pringles, pop the Pringles. Go for fresh because Pringles got them. Fresh, pop right to the bottom. Once you pop, you can't stop.
When it comes to choosing a pain reliever, the makers of Tylenol believe the more information you have, the better. That's why it's important to know ibuprofen is different than Tylenol. Doctors know ibuprofen can sometimes irritate your stomach. In fact, most ulcer patients shouldn't use it. But they can take Tylenol. Hospitals use Tylenol 4 times more than ibuprofen. For effective relief that's gentler to your stomach, trust Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
It used to take less than 2 generations to double the standard of living in our great country. At our present low growth rates, it takes 12 generations. What happened to the American dream? Well, what about our children? The child poverty rate in our great country is now 21%. Absolutely unacceptable. How does this compare with our industrial competitors across the world? We look bad. Here we are, there they are. We've got work to do. If you want to have a voice as the owner of this great country, join United We Stand America. We're conducting a nationwide membership campaign. Millions of volunteers will be working their neighborhoods, urging you to join. The annual dues are $15. This money will be spent to hold our elected officials accountable and to keep you, the owners of this country, informed on the vital issues. Join us. Call the toll-free number now or send the $15 membership to the address shown on the screen. Together, we can pass on the American dream to our children.
Have you been watching the FTL news feed here on the Sci-Fi Channel? Well, if you've missed a few episodes, let me bring you up to date. Now remember, these daily reports are set in the year 2143. The mandatory voting date is coming up soon. That's the day you have to vote using your implanted identity chip or go to jail, or whatever the who's gal is going to be called 150 years from now. President Clark's re-election could be in doubt. Remember that her son, the Attorney General, has been indicted for having sex with a clone, although it was a Marilyn Monroe look-alike. The president, who I happen to find very attractive, by the way, well, her efforts in terraforming Mars have won her a lot of support. But now Senbank, led by that dastardly Barton Poole, is calling in half the North American Union's loans. Habitat Mars might have to be forfeited. Sound interesting? Well, you can watch these daily news reports from 150 years in the future right here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Now, I'm especially interested in what's going on with that rogue asteroid.
Hey, that's some great-looking stuff. And it sure doesn't look like the cartoons we're used to seeing on Saturday morning. What in animation's name is it?
Have no fear, Kimball Kinnison. Fate has chosen you to become a lensman.
Hey, the Lensman. This must be Japanimation.
The American attitude seems to be animation is for kids, and this stuff is too violent for kids, so you can never sell it in America.
A lot of the themes in Japanimation are strictly taboo in American cartoons. For instance, there's a lot more violence. Oh, have you ever seen a horrifying scene like this one in an American cartoon? I doubt it. Another popular plot tool in Japanimation that presents a daring departure from what we're used to is knocking off the good guy.
Live for freedom, die for freedom.
Okay, so the subject matter might not be for kids, but that's not who's watching it anyway.
Americans in recent years have discovered that while they may have thought that they had outgrown animation, and they certainly outgrown children's animation, there's still a lot of exciting stuff being done in animation in Japan, and this is now starting to be brought to America.
How popular is this stuff? Well, for starters, Streamline Pictures, one of the largest distributors of Japanimation in the States, has seen video sales nearly double in the past few years alone. Some of the more popular titles to hit this side of the Pacific include Lensman, Japan's bow to the Star Wars movies, and Akira, which bears an uncanny resemblance to Blade Runner. Though there tends to be several animators working on any given cartoon, there's usually no telling who's drawn what on the final product. Yet this is often not the case in Japanese animation.
Like any field, there's lots of hack work, and there are a few gems. One practice that seems to be popular in Japan is that a studio will hire a very prestigious artist, usually an artist from outside the animation field, and they will hire him to design the main characters in a feature, and then they will use just regular animation personnel to design the rest of the movie, the supporting characters. Occasionally, as a result, you will get a few main characters who do not look anything like the art style of the rest of the cast.
Oh well, like they say, variety is the spice of life.
You know, we've been doing these for a while now, and the response has been, well,
to say the least, uplifting and overpowering. In fact, the Sci-Fi Channel, a division of the USA Network, has had to build a special warehouse in Secaucus, New Jersey, just to handle the overflow of your telegrams and letters, the bomb threats, all of that good stuff. But somehow I seem to have left a wrong impression among many of you. Many of you think that I'm incorruptible, that I cannot be bought. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. I'm a critic. I'm available for purchase. I mean, you take critics like, say, Jeff Jarvis over at TV Guide, who gave this great glowing review to Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and then bum rap Babylon 5, which is a wonderful movie. And nobody ever bothered to mention that Jeff Jarvis happens to be a friend of some of the people over at Deep Space Nine. I don't want to name any names. I certainly don't want to get into his opinions. But I'm not the kind of critic who can't be bought. In fact, I can be bought. I can be bought very easily. For instance, this genie cookie jar here. I thought I would put it on here because I promised my friend Robin that I would show it. And we have here, this is a wonderful book. This is called Spaghetti Westerns, the Good, Bad, and the Violent, published by McFarlane. They sent that to me. They hoped that I would mention it on this show. And so I'm mentioning it, and so I got to keep it, and it's about $45. But the best of all, oh, wait. Come here. I got to show you something terrific. You see this? You see this little teacup? It's just a little silver teacup, right? And over here, there's this little plate that's got this little design on it, right? They don't look like much of anything. But when you take the teacup and you put it on the plate, oh, is that hot? Now, this one's North by Northwest. They also make one with Charlie Chaplin in Modern Times. They got one with Marilyn Monroe in 7-Year Itch, and they got a great King Kong, terrific one. They're over there, but you can't see them because they're not in the shot. Anyhow, these cost about $75 a piece. They come from France. Somebody sent them to me, and they said, well, if you show it on Sci-Fi Buzz, you can keep them. And I said, you got it. I remember Sam Peckinpah, the great director. Once upon a time, somebody said, how could you direct such a lousy film as that? He said, I'm like a good whore. I go where I'm kicked. Well, folks, I too can be bought. Do not hesitate. Do not fall back. Try to buy me. For instance, look at this. This book is called Science Fiction and Fantasy Literature, 1975 to 1991. Now, this book has a listing of every science fiction writer and every fantasy writer from 1974 on to present. It's got a listing of every one of them, and it's got all their books and all the titles of their stories. In any case, I've got this wonderful book, and they sent it to me, and I said, well, I'll show it on the program. And they said, fine, you can have it. And I saved $199. Now, folks, with this kind of a job, the perks are all important. So I urge you, do not hold back. If you've got something you want hyped, if you've got something you want shown on television, send it to me. Send it to me. I can be bought. Now, I will, of course, mention that you sent it to me for this kind of promotion. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to say something good about it. I may say it's trash. But what the hell?
Next, a man who could wake up in the lobby of a Cinema 14 and not tell the difference. He's poster maven Ron Borst.
Which contact lens would you rather wear? One that's new once a year or one that's new every 2 weeks? Introducing SureView from Johnson & Johnson. The easy care daily wear lens you replace every 2 weeks. Imagine fresh, clean lenses every 2 weeks. No long-term buildup that can irritate your eyes. And a year only costs about what you pay now. Isn't it time you changed your lenses? SureView. Ask your eye care professional about a free trial pair.
You are here. She has the traveler's checks here. That is a problem. Well, was. American Express traveler's checks for 2. The only checks either of you can use. Don't leave home without them.
Who are these strange characters? Find out who's who on the Doctor Who Hour. Tomorrow at noon, 9 Pacific.
I have an announcement to make. Cold-blooded murder is more popular than ever. Touché.
Weeknights at 7:30, 4:30 Pacific. You are watching Sci-Fi Buzz on the Sci-Fi Channel.
They say you're gonna bloom. What are you, plant life? Please, you've got all these decisions. You've got a life. Hey, you can make it come up roses. It helps to use this. You see, secret is pH balance for your body's chemistry. pH balance for your decisions, your life. Helps keep you dry, confident. So when you're faced with one of these, you won't pull one of these. Secret, strong enough for him, a pH balance just for you.
Reach beyond the solar system to 1,000 twinkling stars. Explore astounding worlds undreamt of here on Earth. Discover strange new life forms. See the wonder of the universe, from the smallest atomic particle to the infinite reaches of deep black space. Watch Inside Space and be on the cutting edge of space technology from around our world. Then team up with today's top scientists in their quest for tomorrow's frontiers on The Science Show. Coming up next.
Remember to call our Buzzboard line, open 24 hours a day, 213-851-7235. Give us your news and reviews on books, movies, television shows, etc. And give us a call if you've seen our producer, Susan Hyman, in your bedroom snooping around. This woman will go to any lengths to get a story. What are you doing in people's bedrooms?
Excuse me, Mike, but we were in Ron Borst's bedroom recently because that's where he stores all his posters. I mean, this man is a collector in an extreme sense of the word.
What does the room look like?
Posters everywhere. Under his bed. He needs a stepladder literally just to get into bed. It's a wild place. Check this out.
Welcome to the crazy, colorful, crowded world of film art collector Ron Borst.
I was drawn into collecting things of a horror, science fiction, fantasy nature, and I decided that I would try and obtain and build the best possible collection in that genre.
Ron's interest in collecting was piqued at a very early age. His first purchase was a famous monster magazine. Original cost, 35 cents. Current value, 1,000 smackaroos.
I'd been interested in monster movies since I saw The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, which was an original Ray Bradbury story, which was my first movie in 1953. And the whole sense of the fantastic, being scared, going to other worlds, I think that enticed an awful lot of kids back in the 50s growing up. So when a magazine came out like Famous Monsters of Filmland that was totally devoted to this whole subject matter, I mean, this magazine was made for me.
From horror magazines, Ron swiftly graduated to film art, eventually assembling one of the most impressive collections of its kind. Not surprisingly, Ron even started a business called, appropriately enough, Hollywood Movie Posters.
I'm one of the lucky ones in that I've been able to turn a hobby into a business, which is, I think, anybody's goal in life is. But my heart will always be with collecting the stuff and having it myself as opposed to making money off it.
Several posters share a place of honor on Ron's living room wall. All are from films made in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, an era Ron calls the golden age of movie posters.
I like those films the most. I like the melodramatic horror of the old Universal films with Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi, my two favorites, I think. I think that the posters that were made at those times on those films are some of the best art ever created for films of any genre.
Good news for those of you who'd like to admire Ron's collection up close and personal without actually crashing his LA area home. Grove Press has just released Graven Images, the best of horror, fantasy, and science fiction film art from the collection of Ronald V. Borst.
So this is Ron's book here?
Yeah.
Now, what if your husband Frank started collecting all this stuff and put it in your bedroom?
I'd drop kick him to the next county. But fortunately, Ron's wife's a collector also, so it all works out pretty well.
Next week on Sci-Fi Buzz, Dr. Smith and Jonathan Harris are alive and well. Meet the only person who can tell Baby on dinosaurs what to do. He's Muppeteer Kevin Clash. And come to a Monster Mash with us. Meet some of Hollywood's oldest and newest fright stars.
I'm Mike Jarek. See you again when we reconnect the buzz.